The purpose of this demo is to show how two different platforms, BambooHR and Whale, can be integrated. BambooHR is a human resources information system, a software solution designed to aid a company's visionary or HR professionals in managing employee data, streamlining onboarding and offboarding procedures, and automating hiring and talent acquisition processes. Whale, on the other hand, is a knowledge sharing and training platform that allows collation and management of SOPs, business policies, company information, and documentation. So what will be the purpose and benefit of integrating these two platforms? BambooHR and Whale solutions can be integrated through an integration tool such as Zapier to automate creation of a Whale account every time an applicant is hired as part of the employee onboarding process. This integration point will ensure that each employee will automatically have a corresponding user and will be invited to the Whale platform without going through a manual request and approval process. This will reduce extra steps and manpower in user creation and access granting in Whale for new hires, and thus eliminating the possibility of non-creation of Whale users for all new employees. All companies, regardless of the scale or size, can benefit from this automation, especially for those companies relying on Whale for onboarding. So what will be the prerequisites for this integration? First, we need to have a Whale account. We also need to have BambooHR account and Zapier, which will handle the integration of these two platforms. For the purpose of this demo, we would also be needing a sample email which will be receiving the request for access to the Whale platform. So for Whale, unfortunately, my view is very limited to certain options, but with administrative access, we should be able to have the user management menu. This is BambooHR, which we will be using to identify resources that will be marked as hired, which will show the cause and effect of the automation that we will be developing. So, to create the integration between the two platforms, we need to do that in Zapier. So, we'll create a new Zap. First, we need to identify the trigger that will start the whole process. So what we are expecting is whenever a new hire is created or marked in BambooHR, this will trigger a process that will create a user in Whale. So the triggering app will be BambooHR. We also need to specify what event will trigger this automation. So for this, it's new employee. In Zapier, in case existing records have been created already, we will be prompted with a drop-down box in which we will choose which BambooHR account will be linked for this particular setup. If this is a new setup without any existing configuration, we need to identify the BambooHR account plus the API key, which will uniquely identify which particular BambooHR will be used for this particular integration. So I will choose this one, the one that I've been using for testing. So this is my dummy company, Apertus Labs, using this particular BambooHR account. Zapier also allows testing of the integration for each step. So when you create the trigger, it will allow you to test this particular configuration, and then when you complete the process, it will allow you to test the whole process. So with this test, Zapier will pull certain data from BambooHR to allow testing. So we'll go with employee B. Next is the action. So after identifying the triggering event, we need to identify what will be done once that trigger has started. So our trigger is a new employee creation in BambooHR, and what we are expecting is the creation of a new user in Whale. So for the app event, we need to specify Whale. So choose Whale and then choose the event. So new employee creation will result to user creation or invite in Whale. So invite user. After specifying the event, we need to link our Whale account in this particular configuration in Zapier. So let's choose this one. Since I have already created several links between BambooHR and Whale, it's already available in the drop-down list. But again, assuming that this is the first time that we will be doing this, you need to identify the particular Whale account plus the API key. Providing the account and API key for both BambooHR and Whale will identify that link between those two accounts. So click on continue. The next step shows us the fields that are expected to be filled up on Whale side. So what we need to provide is the mapping. So for each particular and important field in Whale, we need to assign what field is to be mapped from BambooHR side. So for example, for first name, we need to identify what field is available in BambooHR. So we can choose first name. The data that we have chosen for the test is also being shown. So setting up is very easy so that it can aid you in what mapping should be done, what fields are expected from the source and the target. So for first name, I'm choosing this one. Last name, it also displays all the available fields from the source or BambooHR. Showing all options will display all the available fields provided in BambooHR. So all required or mandatory fields should be filled up to ensure that this particular configuration in Zapier will work. The next two options will identify what kind of user will be created in Whale, whether it's an admin user and whether that particular user will have right access or grants. So for this, let's just create it as a normal user without any admin access and with the right privileges. So this summarizes what we are trying to do in Zapier, the link between BambooHR and Whale. So to ensure that what we have configured is correct and will be working, we can test this particular configuration by clicking on Test and Review or Test and Continue. So if the test is successful, it will display this dialog box indicating that an invite has been sent to our test employee's email account. If not, it will show an error message and it will allow troubleshooting to resolve that particular error. So if everything is good to go, we can click on Publish Zap. And then clicking on Publish and Turn On will indicate that this is already ready for use and it is already in place. So any action that we will be doing in BambooHR will result in performing this automated process. And this particular configuration is ready. So to test, we will go to BambooHR, go to the hiring page, identify our resource that we can mark as hired. So out of the list of candidates, we can choose a resource that is available. So let's go with Fred Hunt. Assuming that this is a particular good candidate that we will be hiring, in this, we can mark him from review to hire. So add new employee. This will create an employee record in BambooHR, and this in turn will trigger the automated process that we have created, so that a new user will be created for Fred Hunt. So we'll fill in the employee details. We can then assign a certain employee number. Fill in all the required details. And provide a social security number. So we have successfully created an employee record for Fred, and this will in turn send an invite to this employee's email address so that he can create an account in Whale. So we'll go to the email that Fred has supposedly provided. So this is the email invite that will allow Fred to create a user in the Whale platform. So that completes this demo. So from creating, marking a particular applicant as hired in BambooHR, and then creating an employee record for that particular applicant has triggered the automatic creation of an invite so that he can then sign on to Whale.